Royal Moore Subaru has a huge selection of new Subarus in stock. Now through the end of May, get a new 2019 Subaru Outback for as low as 0% APR. Every new Subaru comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, plus 10 years roadside assistance. More warranty, more value, more service. RoyalMooreSubaru.net. As low as 0% APR for up to 36 months. No down payment. Subject to credit approval, vehicle insurance, and vehicle availability. Taxes, DMV licensing, or other dealer options extra. See retailer or visit Subaru.com. Expires 5/31/19. RoyalMooreSubaru.net.
The Starlight Lounge presents an evening with the Progressive Box.
Old moon, yeah. That's Hugo, tickling the ivories. He just saved by bundling home and auto with Progressive. Gonna finally buy a ring for that gal of yours, Hugo? Send her my condolences. Hi-oh! This next one's for you two. There's a burglar in my heart. Thank you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
And here we go.
Welcome to Cygnus X1 Paranormal Radio Podcast with your hosts, Rod and Jamie. Live every Wednesday night.
And welcome, everybody. This is Cygnus X1 Paranormal Radio. It is Wednesday night. Right here, WBR FM Radio and Spreaker.com. And want to say thank you, everybody who is tuned in and listening. We have a very special show lined up for you tonight. This is going to be a little bit about spiritual journeys and a spiritual awakening, if you will. And our very special guest tonight is Mike Seniff, who lives down in Arizona. And he is a friend of the show, and we are very happy to have him on. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rod. I appreciate it.
You bet. You bet. And Jamie, my co-host, is here. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Hello, Rod. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Jamie.
And we're glad to be here. It has been an exciting week getting all of this lined up, and you know it's going to be a good show for everybody. And maybe a little bit later we will take some time to take some calls, maybe in the last 10 or 15 minutes, and that will be with Skype. So if you have a Skype or a Skype account or a phone, please call us, and we'll give out that number at when the time comes, okay? And so let's get going with the show, and I'm going to make sure that we're up and running everywhere. Jamie, in our green room pre-show, you talked about some weekend activity that you were up to. Can you talk about that a little bit?
You betcha, Rod. So I am, if you don't know, I'm a investigator with the Phoenix, Arizona Paranormal Society, ghost hunting team primarily. So yeah, last weekend we went out Friday and Saturday night, 2 separate homes, and both nights we got a lot of activity, more so than we normally do. And one in particular is, so far, could be really frightening for the homeowner. So we're still going over evidence, and can't really talk much about either one of them, except that stay tuned until we go through all the evidence and let the homeowners know, and we then put it on Facebook with their approval. Well, but once we put it on Facebook, then we can talk about it a little bit more. But if you haven't liked our page on Facebook, go to Phoenix, Arizona Paranormal Society /PAPS, and then we post all our evidence and videos. We put it in video format, so you see all the videos and all the evidence that we captured in our investigations and our tours. And it's pretty cool. Usually about a week to 2 weeks, we'll post them after the investigation. So we're pretty pumped up about last week. And I'd say probably within the next couple of weeks, we'll have those out. This week we're laying low so we can still go over the evidence. And the following week, we do our final tour at the Phoenix, the Living History Pioneer Museum in North Phoenix. So that'll be the last one before summer. It gets too hot, so we'll do that.
Well, that's excellent. And we are up and running. I want to say hello to my friend Nick, who is listening right now on Spreaker.com. And if you're watching on Facebook Live, click on the link that I put into the show page or into the Facebook Live page, and you can listen to the show with Jamie and Mike right now. We're going to talk about some, and I'm just checking to make sure everything is still up and running good, and we're all right. Kind of my own producer, own director. We're doing our own stuff here, aren't we, Jamie?
We are. Well, you are. I just sit here.
Well, it's the epitome of multitasking is what this is. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about a couple events that happened on in the paranormal world this last week. We're going to start off because I want to make sure we don't miss this. But a very important person in the paranormal world passed away this last week. And we are deeply saddened to share the news that iconic UFO researcher Stanton Friedman has passed away at the age of 84. He was undoubtedly best known for being the first civilian investigator to research the landmark Roswell incident. His explosive uncovering of the mysterious 1947 event in New Mexico left an indelible mark on not only UFO studies, but the Zeitgeist as well, with Roswell becoming synonymous with the phenomenon in the midst of millions of individuals around the world. Dr. Freeman had been on many, many shows. He'd been on Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell and with George Norrie several times throughout the years. He is basically the father of modern-day ufology. So a very sad day, a very sad week with the loss of Dr. Friedman.
Yeah, he will be missed. Stanton Friedman. I mean, we all hear about Roswell and talk about Roswell because of Stanton Friedman.
Yes. Yep.
He's the one, like you said, he was the first civilian to get in there and ask questions and do some research on it. So
yep.
He will be missed. And he was a bright man. I mean, he's a nuclear physicist.
That's right.
And we're very all indebted to him and all the work he's done over the last 40, 50 years in this field.
Yeah, absolutely. He had worked on several propulsion projects with General Electric, General Motors, and Westinghouse. And you were going to say, Jamie?
No, I was going to say it's interesting. You know, as much as all the work and research he did, he never did see a UFO.
Yeah,
he never saw one, but didn't really he didn't take a backseat to knowing the truth behind them.
Yes, he is. He's just fascinating to listen to, and we kind of wanted to take the time to make tribute to Dr. Friedman, and we're going to touch on a couple UFO stories, kind of in his honor as well. So the first one that we're going to talk about, a pilot for Turkish Airlines was left scratching his head after spotting and subsequently filming a UFO near his aircraft. Now, the sighting occurred this past Friday at Attila Şentürk, was en route to Istanbul after departing from Cologne. At some point during the journey, the pilot and his crew noticed something strange sharing their airspace, and Şentürk quickly pulled his cell phone out to record the odd aerial interloper. There was a posting on Facebook and on YouTube, and we're going to take a look at it. We're going to describe it for you as much as we can. It is a very, very short video, and we'll do it a couple times if we need to. So basically, you can tell that it is in high altitude, and there is no, interestingly enough, there's no audio with the video that goes with it. You do see a bright white dot high up in the atmosphere, or at least in a far distance from the aircraft, and it almost looks like it blinks out at the end. Did you see that, Jamie?
Yeah, you sure can tell that.
And it does disappear at the end. What do you think, Jamie?
Well, I wasn't there, but the pilot was, and he's been there up in the air in that altitude a lot more times than I have.
Yeah.
He says he's never seen anything like that, and he's got that video there to prove it. So it could be something. I don't really think it'd be a star. I mean, you think he'd know what a star is.
Right.
So certainly could be something.
Mike, what did you think?
You know, how many times do you hear that a pilot will say it's something that I've never seen before? You have the experience to be up in the air, and you're going to say you haven't seen something. I'm going to take that guy's word for it that it's something at least.
Right. Absolutely. We have another story. You know, we're about we've got about 5 minutes. Let's see if we can run through both of these. We have another UFO story here. This is I need to take a quick break here. Jamie, can you read this one, please?
Sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, a North Carolina man believes that he may have inadvertently filmed a UFO during a Facebook Live cast video. Daniel Patterson recorded the footage in the town of Liberty, North Carolina, back in January, and was recently highlighted by a local news station doing a feature of the UFO phenomenon and those who research it. According to him, the impromptu broadcast for his Facebook friends largely featured Patterson musing about the nature of the universe. Then, much to his surprise, a friend watching the footage spotted something strange appear behind Patterson during the video and asked him if he noticed it. When he went back and viewed it for himself, he was astounded to see what appears to be some kind of glowing ball of light quickly zip through the sky over his head. And the strange scene clearly left an impression on Patterson as he marveled that it was a spiritual experience.
Hey, that's
Fits right in for the night.
Yes, very apropos. Let's take a look at the video real quick, guys, and see what they see.
What's the Wi-Fi
There's an
password?
ad.
Subi
Sorry
Subi.
about that.
Wi-Fi.
She thinks she's so clever.
The all-new 3-row Subaru Ascent.
There are about 7.5
See, it's got like
billion
Ascension.
people living on our planet.
But are we alone? What about space? Is there extraterrestrial life somewhere out there?
Back on the ground, a group in the Triad looks to the skies for signs of life.
This is from
They're tracking UFOs.
WFMY News 2's
WFMYnews2.com.
Tahisha Moy spoke with them and a Triad man who says he captured a UFO on video.
Look up into the sky. Have you ever seen a UFO?
They're spinning like... Okay, don't talk this video.
What they're showing, folks, so we can describe it to you, is several different videos. This is a news story, so I'm hoping we can get to the video here real quick.
Like, here's a North Carolina case right here.
David Glidewell is a MUFON state director for the North Carolina chapter. On top of analyzing photos and videos,
so that's a drop of water.
He also trains people to become field investigators. To be a good investigator, Glidewell says you have to be a skeptic, but also keep an open mind.
You just can't dismiss everything. You know, dismissing it is just like, that's probably the worst thing you can do.
Many times UFO sightings turn out to be lens flares, airplanes,
And
birds, bugs, or drones.
As you can hear in the video,
investigators are trained to
they're
spot.
talking about UFOs and showing different videos
and
and photos of UFOs.
Strange, and that's,
I'm hoping we can get to the North Carolina
Daniel
one.
Patterson believes he saw a golden nugget in Liberty.
Here we go.
He describes it as a spiritual experience.
I was talking about the universe right before it happened.
He walked us to the spot in the woods where he captured what he calls a UFO.
When it traveled behind my head, it would have been right here.
On this Facebook Live video, something zooms past him.
And I didn't know it was there. It was brought to my attention by someone else that saw it in the video and said, "Hey, Dan, did you see the UFO?" And I said, "No."
It's hard to see at first glance. Here it is in slow motion, and these are some screenshots to get a better look. This is just one of many reported UFO sightings in our state. The National UFO Reporting Center lists North Carolina as one of the top 10 states for reported sightings, with close to 3,000.
All right, we're going to stop it right there. Guys, what did you think of that?
Looked like something.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jamie, what did you think?
I mean, there's something there. What is it? Not sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this happens quite a bit. A lot of people, when they go out and summon, try to get spiritual and telepathically even speak.
Yes.
With alien. I mean, all of a sudden, there's something there. So I totally believe that.
And we can.
There could be something.
And we'll certainly talk about that. It's a good segue into the show. And we'll certainly talk about that kind of thing and how to open yourself spiritually to things seen and unseen around you. And with that being said, I think this is a good time for us to take our beginning show break. We are going to be right back with our special guest, Mike Seniff, who's going to take us on our own spiritual journey and his as well. And so we'll be back right